what's up, YouTube squad? Welcome to my channel. You too can be great. This is Basketball Wives Season 8, Episode 18, Reunion Part 2. Now, I know that some of you don't want to watch it, or some of you decided that, you know, you're going to boycott the show, and that's okay. I'm cool with that too. But for those of you, we the fans, who are interested in knowing what happened, from my perspective and what I saw, stay tuned because I'm going to tell you all about it. But before I do, make sure to go ahead and join my Instagram page, YouTube_GR8_channel. I am going to be posting news if I have them, videos if I have them, and giveaways if I'm doing them, okay? And if you are the current winner, go ahead and message me, and we'll go from there and figure out how to coordinate $50 Amazon gift card to you. So let's get into this, okay? Scene 1. We got the audio. We start from where we left off, which is OG now talking to the girls, and her dude are sitting on the a separate stage trying to figure out how to articulate what they want when they're not with everybody else. They're just kind of separate. So it reminds me about the whole separate but equal type bullshit they did. But anyway, the audience, in my opinion, based on what I have seen from both reunion, have been specifically chosen to basically say whatever the hell that appeals to what Shaunie and Evelyn and the rest of that little crew are trying to portray to the world. Because there were some situations where it's just common sense based on what OG said and based on how Jennifer said things that Jennifer said that didn't make sense for them to even be like, oh, let's clap. And they still did that shit anyway. So I'm gonna talk about it. So the first clip they show is Kristen talking about Byron and OG announcing that Thomas is not Byron's father. They all bring this shit up again. And the host decides to ask how many knew that Byron wasn't Thomas's biological father. Kristen and Malaysia raised their hand. OG's like, Malaysia, you're full of shit because you ain't know. When this situation happened, apparently in the background, what we didn't see is Malaysia was saying, hey, do we know? But then we also saw in the confessional that Malaysia kind of looked away like she just either found out or she already knew. I couldn't tell which one it was. But according to OG, Malaysia was asking her about it. And then she also looked at Malaysia and said, well, how are you related to Thomas anyway? And Malaysia didn't want to disclose that information. It makes me want to go and dig and find out how she is actually related to him, since she's claiming that that's her family. That's her family. Maybe through marriage, I don't know. Through blood, I don't know. I actually do want to know, because she brushed that question off and said that she don't want OG to go and repeat it. Then they talked to Kristen, and they asked Kristen why it is that even if she knew what the hell was going on with Thomas, why would you now go and cry? Why would you not do this overdramatic bullshit like Cece talked about? Like, what is the purpose of you doing that whole, I can't type attitude? And she says, I was just so disgusted by it, and I can't believe that she brought Thomas into it and Thomas wasn't even there. And that it was, I'm like, wait, hold on. You couldn't believe that she brought Thomas into the conversation when Thomas was even there. Didn't you call her man gay? Or didn't you talk about Kwame when he wasn't there? That's the reason why he's standing here saying, keep my name out your mouth. Number one. Number two, wasn't the dinner with Evelyn and Cece going at it when Cece was calling Evelyn a bitch and calling her the right names that she deserved? Evelyn did not say that Thomas was out here. She didn't want to have a dude that's texting women, getting naked videos from women, and basically cheating on Cece, and said it in front of you and Malaysia, and y'all didn't say shit except, please leave my family out of it. Y'all didn't do nothing. But now you want to sit here to harp on this situation that we all knew about, or was on this viral internet that we can all go and pop up and see, and now play it down like, oh, this is what's happening. Girl, bye. Because I know Byron actually told Cece, you know, why would she be acting like that? She knew. Why would she be doing the most? Like, what's the purpose of her doing that? And Cece was looking at her like, come on now. Anyway, OG shouldn't have weaponized it, but OG said, you know what? I don't regret what I said. I said what I said. Hashtag Nini. I said what I said, and I don't feel bad about it. We're throwing jabs. I just threw a bigger jab. The way I see it is, at the end of the day, yes, there's some things that are harsh. You shouldn't say it. I personally wouldn't say certain things because that's just me. By the end of the day, if you're going to pick a fight with someone, you can't pick and choose how they retaliate because you picked a fight with them. You can't now say, oh, well, you know, you can't respond to me this way. You have to make it sure it's this way. We are not the same people. So my response when I get angry may be worse than what you anticipated, but the fact is you put yourself in that situation, so whatever the fuck I have to say is what you're gonna have to listen to. So get over it. But OG says she doesn't feel sorry, and with the way Kristen is acting, I don't feel sorry either, girl. Hold that. Then Kristen decides to offer an apology because the host says, hey, if Thomas was here, what would you say? She offers an apology and says, you know what, she's sorry about how she made him feel. She's sorry about what she talked about. She said that she hopes that this is the first step, but she doesn't know how we're going to fix it. I'm thinking to myself, you do know how you're going to fix it. The man is marrying a woman that is technically your stepmother since Thomas is your husband. You cannot go on national television and have these loud conversations, paint her a certain way with a bunch of women that don't really care for her or even care for your family to succeed. Why not go in private, hash things out away from the cameras, do it without, you know, anybody being there, not blame OG for trying to have her friends back, and then get off camera and handle your scandal in the background. Like, don't bring it out there and then have an excuse that it didn't work out the way you're going to work out, because people are around that are nosy and don't really want the best for you or for her. So just handle it the right way, and maybe you can now make the necessary steps to move forward, and maybe you and Byron can get on one accord. But you got to learn how to respect CC as well. Y'all need to learn how to handle things the right way, period. But the next moment that they talk about is the host brings up the whole aggression situation, and he basically says that he sees that some of the aggression that they're talking about has been pinpointed to OG. But before he gets to that point, they show a clip, and it's basically Evelyn talking about the toe situation, calling her Toji this, Toji that, saying her toe is so, you know, it's out of her shoe. They show Jackie laughing about it. They show all the girls making fun of her about it and giggling about it, and you can tell that it generally was hurting OG's feelings. Like, the girl has feelings too. She ain't just walking around being cold as a motherfucker. Like, why are y'all talking about her like this? And y'all are doing it, and the audience, after the video's up, starts clapping and laughing, and I'm just sitting here thinking to myself, that shit ain't funny. Like, y'all are clapping up at somebody being made fun of. How does that make sense? And that's just sitting there, as I'm looking at the audience, I'm thinking that half of y'all motherfuckers are dumb as a fuck. Like, y'all are dumb and y'all being played. Y'all are being used as puppets to sit here and perpetuate this bullshit that's on the show. Y'all to sit here and laugh because somebody's making fun of somebody else. This is also a sign of bullying. When you see something bad happening to somebody and the majority of you will stand there and just watch and not correct that action, it happens again and again, and that's how somebody ends up killing themselves. Y'all are sitting here watching Evelyn make fun of this girl and her feet, and all y'all are doing is clapping in the audience. Fuck yo. Like, it's hard to watch because you're looking at her and her boo in the background, and she's just, you know, she's pissed off. She actually said after that she's really shocked to see that Jackie was laughing along with them. Jackie was rolling her eyes, and you could tell she felt a little bit uncomfortable because maybe she felt like she did something shady. But she did come out and said that it was all in fun and she didn't mean it in a hard way. And they asked OG, do you think that Jackie has your back? And she admits that she feels like Jackie has her back. So I guess that their friendship is going to move on, and she just wants to let Jackie know that she did not like that she was laughing at her when they were talking about her toe. Evelyn decides to make another jab and says that OG's toe is longer than a CVS receipt, and everybody is laughing and laughing about it. OG's like, y'all write expensive jokes that your ass cannot cash. And that's when she talked about the toe situation. And then she looks at Evelyn and she says that no man wants a woman who talks bad about people. And it's true. OG's the only one on the stage sitting over there with her man. Jackie's the only one on the stage sitting there with another man. Malaysia don't have a man. Feby says she got 2 dudes, so maybe she's doing this whole polyamorous thing. Who knows? Evelyn has man, and then they leave her. Shaunie doesn't have a man. Like, y'all are sitting there attacking the one person that's in a healthy situation. And she's right. No man wants a woman who has a bad spirit, and you can usually tell. And those women are the ones that they fucking leave. And Evelyn is just one of those people. That's just how I see it, because you're still continuing to do it. And even Tammy had the same problem. She was crying last season talking about these women have continued to talk about her. People's feelings are hurt when you talk bad about them, so you can't pick and choose how they choose to respond to you and then call them aggressive. That's not fair. Anyway, OG says that she believes that God made her the way she's supposed to be made, and I agree. She said that she's the only one that has shown that she cares for herself. She's not wearing veneers, and she just has never gotten a boob job, and she's never gotten a nose job. And a majority of females sitting on that stage, including Evelyn herself, who wants to talk about people, has had work done to alter her image, to make herself more appealing. And she's 43 years old. So OG being 34 hasn't done shit to her body. So for you to sit here and make fun of her and call her ugly at this, you had to alter your body to even look the way that you look. So what does that say about you, bitch? That means that you didn't like the way you look. You didn't like yourself, so you wanted to change something about yourself. So then why now call somebody else ugly when you changed something about yourself that was naturally given to you? So it's like the pot, the pot to the kettle. Y'all just, it's a double standard, and it's hypocrisy, and y'all sound dumb as fuck, and I don't agree with it. Then we have the next topic where OG brings up the differences between the stage setup and says that it is discrimination because, and they asked her, well, what would you think is the best way to rectify the situation. And later on, she said that she feels like, because Evelyn has also demonstrated a lot of angry type behavior in the manner of how she treated Cece, how she poured a drink in Jennifer's face, and some of the things that she's done in the past, it would make sense if OG's got to be on a different stage for her to also be on a different stage too. And I think that that is just fair, and that is accountability. But hey, they're all going to sit there and play down and say, well, you know, I've known Jennifer, I've known Evelyn for a long time. She's not really going to do anything. Fuck out of here with that bullshit. They talk about the Costa Rica trip. They brought that up and they showed the drink throwing. And they also showed Jennifer and Evelyn's scene where Jennifer apologized to Evelyn in a different trip before the Costa Rica trip. Jennifer apologized to Evelyn about the Shaunie situation, and they gave her each other a hug, and Evelyn says, "I love you, girl," to Jennifer. Then they show Evelyn talking about how she had gone home after they went to Jennifer's event and took that photo together. That Evelyn went home, and I guess Shaunie got upset and hurt because she took a photo with Jennifer. And Evelyn says, well, I just don't think that I can't break bread with somebody that talked bad about my daughter, and I gotta go home and my daughter's gonna ask me why I'm hanging around with somebody who talked bad about her. Okay, but you went to her event. You went to her events. There were cameras there. So which is it? Do you want to hang out with her or not? You can't pick and choose based on what makes you comfortable, because she went and cropped that photo out and told Malaysia to crop it out and post it to make it seem like they're not friends. Some petty ass Shawty's bullshit type nonsense. Like, girl, grow the fuck up and get a hobby other than sleeping with other people's men. For real. But they brought this whole thing up, and then when the scene was over, Evelyn looks at Jennifer and says that Jennifer cannot possibly comprehend how she feels because she carried a child for 9 months, and that's her child being talked about, and that Jennifer is talking about a child. Bitch, when has Shaunie been a child? Shaunie is a grown adult, and she is now officially fucking just like you. She is now spreading her legs just like you. And according to Jennifer, she's been doing it since she was 15, 16 years old. So if she's old enough to go and screw and get in all types of positions, she is old enough to be talked about as well. Now, I understand the dynamic that Jennifer was supposed to be kind of like an aunt to her, so she doesn't need to be talking about Shaunie. I get it. But don't use the whole argument that, oh, you're talking about somebody's child when you've been talking about OG. At the same way, OG's 34 years old. Evelyn's 43. Shaunie is maybe in her early 20s. I would say maybe 25, 26 years old. She might be a little bit younger, but she's around that age. And Evelyn, I think she's closer to OG's age than Evelyn is, than OG's closer to Evelyn's age. So if you're going to make the correlation that Jennifer's talking about your kid, you're talking about OG means that you're talking about somebody else's kid, bitch. Because both of them are both adults. They're subject to the same laws because now they're both grown. They're both dating. They're both doing the same thing. Don't use that as a metric to gauge or to defend yourself about Jennifer talking about your child. Because at this point, I looked it up. Shaunie is 26 years old. She was born in 1993, June 15th, right? That makes her 26 years old. OG's 34. That is an 8-year gap, whereas Evelyn is 43 years old. She has a 10-year gap between her and OG. So technically, OG is closer in age to Evelyn's daughter than she is to Evelyn. So you're talking about OG making fun of her when she's closest to your daughter's age, bitch. You're like, for real, at this point, you could be old enough to even have OG as a child at this point. So when you sit up here running your mouth, you know, like, come on now. Don't even use that as a metric to gauge what Jennifer's talking about my daughter. Bitch, we are all talking about your daughter. We are all going to talk about you. We're all going to talk about everything about you, because if you pick a fight with me, I'm going to get you where it hurts. And I'm going to get you where I know you'll feel it, because you should have never picked a fight with me. So you need to be prepared for whatever comes out of my mouth comes out if you pick a fight with me. For all people, because I'm not going to sit there and be like, oh, maybe I shouldn't do this. It's too far. No. Whatever I do to respond to your behavior is what you're going to get. Get over it. Then they asked Jennifer if she did say something about Shaunie. She said she didn't. Anyway, they asked Shaunie why she didn't want Jennifer to go to the Costa Rica. Shaunie says that it has nothing to do with Evelyn and the whole Shaunie situation, that it has everything to do with Jennifer, starting the rumor that Evelyn slept with Shaq and she was not going to be around Jennifer. I'm thinking to myself, well, if you don't want to be around her, why have her on the show at all? If you're going to pick and choose what part of the show she's going to be participating in, why would you have her come at all? What is the purpose of that? Because you gave her a hug when she was crying, because you empathized with her when she was talking about her mother, you know, her dead mother. And you did, you know, you did things to try and mend her and Evelyn's relationship. The moment that Evelyn decides that she don't want to fuck with her and y'all are friends, then you're like, well, I don't want to fuck with her now either. I don't want to go to Costa Rica because this is this and this. Like, that shit don't make any sense, Shaunie, because you're not also going to have her in the next season. So if you don't want to be around her, don't be around her, but don't do it when it benefits you. Don't do it. Anyway, they also asked Malaysia about the whole throwing the table situation. Malaysia defends her action and said that Jennifer was the one who got her to that point, and that it was Jennifer's fault that basically she got her there to throw a table at her. I'm thinking to myself, nobody makes you throw a table at them unless you want to. So don't put it off on her and blame her for your bad decisions. I get that you were pissed off that Jennifer did something to you that she should have never had. I get that. But if you're going to retaliate by beating somebody up or by doing something and somebody comes up to you and says, well, did you do this? Own your shit and said you did it. Don't say, oh, it was their fault for pushing me to it. No, I did it because I was pissed off at them, but I'm not going to turn around and say it's your fault. Yeah, you ran your mouth, but you chose to throw a table in freaking Amsterdam. And at the same time that she's justifying her actions, they're not giving the OG the same respect. Or, hey, OG responded to Evelyn based on how Evelyn was treating her. OG responded to Kristen based on how she felt Kristen was treating her. OG's responding to Cece based on how she feels other people are treating Cece. Like, they're not giving her the same, I guess, leeway or justification as they're expecting them to take themselves. So after this scene happened, Malaysia gets up and decides, oh, I'm sick of this shit. I'm sick of this shit. I'm going to go. She's going to do the same thing Shaunie did. Following people again. Follow Malaysia. I'm going to go, except she goes all the way to make it seem like it's a huge shit. She leaves and says, let's go eat. I'm tired of this shit. She gives up. She walks off stage. People are asking where she's at. They show the screen, the scene where she's driving off with her friend, saying she's sick of this shit, and she's gone, and we're all looking at her like, whatever, girl, bye. And she does this calculatively right before her and Jackie are supposed to attack the whole Anthony DM situation. Why didn't you at least stay to deal with what happened with Jackie? Why leave right before that scene is about to come on? That shit don't make sense. Because Jackie said that she wanted to address Malaysia and address the situation of Malaysia being pissed off at her, saying that she was talking about her children when she felt like she wasn't. So of course, that's the next scene they talk about. Anthony in the DMs accusing Jennifer and Dominique of talking bad about Malaysia's kids, calling her kids dirty. And they show the clip where Evelyn is now talking to Anthony and trying to figure out what's going on. And then they flash forward to, I think they were in a bowling alley with Malaysia wearing that cheerleading outfit from the Clovers from Bring It On. And Malaysia going directly to Jennifer and Dominique asking if they talked about her child. And them saying, no, we just heard about it through Jackie. And then we remember that scene when this situation happened. Evelyn was still cool with Jennifer. And so we saw the scene where Evelyn was telling Malaysia to not have anything to do with Jackie. Like, fuck that bitch, fuck that bitch. Jackie, Evelyn's not your friend. I'm watching all these different scenes and what she's doing. She is two-faced. She don't like you, and she only uses you when it's convenient for her. She ain't your friend. She ain't never going to be your friend. You talked about her child. She's not going to deal with Jennifer because Jennifer apparently talked about her child. So let it go. The girl's not going to be around. She's going to use you when it's beneficial to her. But they brought that up, and they also showed the polygraph situation where Evelyn took Jackie into this room to get a polygraph test to see if she now went and got and told the tabloids about her getting a concussion, saying that she went and told the news that she got a concussion from that event. And the polygrapher said that Jackie was deceptive twice when answering those questions. And so I'm sitting there thinking Jackie should have had Evelyn go in there and answer her questions. Ask her whether she really feels in her mind that she's a slut, whether she really feels like she's a hoe, whether she really feels like she's a decent human being. She should have sat in that chair and took that test herself. But she didn't. And after they showed the clip, Jackie said, Evelyn, you need to clear this shit up. Let everybody know that I really didn't do this. And of course, Evelyn does what she does, two-faced. You know, I didn't think that Jackie at first would do something like that. But when she failed the polygraph test twice, then I figured, oh, this. Then Shaunie caught that and decided to finally have Jackie's back. And I was like, no, I don't believe Jackie would do something like that. But Evelyn, no, she ain't your friend. She's going to burn you every time she gets. And yes, she's going to tell people that you did this even though you didn't. The next topic conversation was the Costa Rica trip. They showed Jackie calling Feby a crackhead or crack addict. They showed Cece going off on Evelyn. They showed Malaysia throwing Jackie under the bus with the whole calling Feby a crackhead thing. And then Shaunie says, after the fact, when they asked her, do you think that Feby being drunk going off on Jackie was normal? Shaunie says, I thought it was out of Phoebe's character because she was all liquored up. They asked Feby. Feby said, no, it's in my character. I was waiting because I hadn't seen her since she was yelling outside Jennifer's event. And she's like, well, it's in her character. And I believe Feby is in her character. She's now on stage where guards will come and block Jackie if Jackie comes to attack her. She's now on stage, across the stage where people can protect her. And so she's now at the arena, and notice notices that she has looked like a punk throughout the season, and she wants to boss up and buck up and act like she's this big hot stuff. So she apologized to Jackie for talking about her daughter, saying that her daughter was just trying to assassinate her character. But she goes, I apologize for that, but I'm not your friend. Nobody wants you to be your friend, bitch. Nobody cares. Jackie, instead of cussing her out, which is what I would have done, humbles herself and decides to apologize to Feby for calling her a crackhead. She says that she doesn't have a problem with Feby, but she just, she can't really have because Phoebe's the age of her own daughter. Like, I don't understand. Jackie is 50-something years old. Phoebe's in her 20s maybe. Like, I can't have a fight with somebody that's a child. Like, come on now, she's acting like a child. They asked them if they're going to hug it out. Phoebe said, no, maybe in 6 months I'll do it. Whatever. I don't want your hug either. The next conversation to talk about the L's that Cece gave in Costa Rica, and then they show Evelyn going after Cece and tumbling down the weeds, tumbling in the weed area, and then OG expresses that she was defending Cece, and we heard Sean in the background saying, OG don't do it, when OG was running to go and help Cece. Evelyn and they talk about Evelyn and OG arguing because they saw that scene with OG and Evelyn arguing about the whole Chad situation. Then the race topic comes up again. OG also talks about how they show OG praying, where she said, Jesus, may she close her legs and her mouth, or I will break her jaw. And then the host then turns around and says that somebody always interferes when Cece and OG are trying to mend things. This host is all for Shaunie and Evelyn and all the foolery, because he said that obviously to make everybody think that it was OG that was interrupted. When we saw Evelyn make a beeline to Cece when Cece and Kristen wanted to talk to Cece after she told Shaunie she wanted to beat her up. Then OG discloses that even Malaysia went around that same area when she went to go get some guacamole. She felt like Cece was about to be jumped in a bad situation, and as a friend, I would go help my friend, and that's what she did. But Kristen said that she felt like her friends were staying out of it, that OG was the only one getting into it. Whatever, Kristen, that's not what I saw, and that's not what I believe. And then Evelyn also says that OG brings up the topic that Evelyn said that she wanted to fight Cece multiple times. And then Evelyn says, I wasn't going to do anything. And then OG's like, nobody's going to hold this bitch accountable because nobody's holding her accountable. She, to me, if you want to use the term aggressive the right way, instead of just gearing it towards OG, Evelyn has been aggressive multiple times. Tammy has been aggressive multiple times. There's been other people on this show that have caused more issues. OG has just talked. She uses her words and that she weaponizes them. That's how she does it. She doesn't actually touch anybody. And so they have her on a different stage, and they're not holding Evelyn accountable by having her on a different stage too. They're just excusing her behavior because she said, I would never really do that. Bitch, bye. Yes, you would. Yes, you would. If OG didn't interfere, you would have tried to been all big and bad because you were trying to hop into the golf cart, jump over a bunch of stuff around people. Phoebe's trying to hold you back. Malaysia's trying to hold you back, trying to act like you're all tough, whatever. They ask Evelyn about Chad and what Chad said when she called Chad about the text messages between OG. Notice that the host didn't say, what did your abuser say to you when you did a foul ass shit that makes you look suspect by calling him? They didn't say that. And so Evelyn didn't answer. Didn't respond by saying my abuser said. Instead, she said, oh, he just laughed about it and he sent me the DMs. There was a lot more stuff y'all talked about than the damn DMs. Obviously, you were jealous. And they asked OG about it and say, hey, OG, was Chad really trying to get with you? OG brings out this long list this long paper that she throws out and lets rain, showing that this is all the DMs and text messages and tweets that Chad has been sending her, and that it was legit that he wanted her. And they asked, and she looks at Evelyn and says, you're mad, Evelyn, because Evelyn really is mad. She still wants that man, and I stand by that. I'm not changing it. And she says, I'm not mad. I don't care what he's doing. But then she looks at Kwame and says, Kwame, did you know that she was calling him baby and she was doing this? Kwame's like, yeah, I knew. And OG's like, he was right there when I was sending it, bitch. And Evelyn looked stupid and she just looked away. Girl, bye. You're not going to get in between that man's relationship. He loves that woman. He's going to be with her till the day he dies, and she's going to be with him, and so on and so forth. So far as they have each other's back, like Byron has Cece's back, they'll be good. Nothing you're going to say is going to break this relationship with your freaking messy ass. Then in the next conversation they had, OG brings up the N-word and using it as if Evelyn is trying to fit in. And I believe that she is doing it. She was doing it to try to fit in. You got people in this type of environment in the United States where they grow up with, maybe they're hanging around a lot of black folks. Maybe they've been in that type of atmosphere, so that's the culture that they identify with, so they feel like they can use the N-word. I've met those people, that feel like they can do that based because of the people they've been hanging around with, and that's who they identify with. But Evelyn identifies as a Latina. Even when OG went out of her way to say, you know what, you don't even speak Spanish. She spoke Spanish, and she can speak Spanish. She called her an idiot, and she said she would speak Spanish to her all day. She speaks Spanish. That is who she identifies with. It wasn't until recently that she did a DNA test and says, I'm Afro-Latina, and then says, oh, I have 25% black in me. If I asked Evelyn any questions as it pertains to the history of black people, the prison system, how it really works, all the racial things, and all the racial profiling, that if they saw OG and they saw Evelyn, they would profile OG, they would not profile Evelyn. Evelyn, if you did not tell me that you did a DNA test, I would not associate the black genetic makeup and you in the same sentence. You have been a self-proclaimed Latina this whole time. So to now use that as a justification for saying the things that you have said, the monkey, Li-Ling, the N, no, it doesn't justify it in my mind. So you speaking like this and saying I was born in Brooklyn, I was raised in the Bronx, I've been around people of all walks of life, so that means I'm not racist. Okay, maybe you don't think that you're racist, but there's certain things that you have done that are racist. And it doesn't excuse it because you're saying you're 25% black. That doesn't make any sense. Because I work with people who are white, Armenian. I work with people who are Asian. I work with people who are Hispanic. And they do make a distinction about me when they talk, oh, wow, you really are smart. Wow. Oh, you know, you don't look like the typical black girl. You don't have the wide nose. Your nose is actually pointed. Oh, your lips are actually proportionate to your mouth. And this is in 2019 at my job. I still hear this shit. Just because I'm around them and able to interact with them doesn't mean that they like me or they like the way that I look. You using that as an excuse, it doesn't make sense because you have identified as a Latina person. And you, to be honest, probably wouldn't even know what part of Africa you're from. You're saying 25% Africa. Yeah, it's from Africa. Yes, it's from Africa. A lot of people in this, I would say about 85%, 90% of people have at least a drop of black because of all the mixtures that have happened for centuries. But you have no idea any history. You can't give me something concrete. Unless you go and Google it, you won't be able to even tell me what part of Africa you're from. Are you from Egypt? Are you a Hamite? Are you a Shamite? Do you even know where Ethiopia is? Where you're from West Africa? Do you even know where the slavery ports are and where which part of the countries that were on the cusp of the ocean that they took? Do you even know any of that? You don't know any of those things. You only claim what you know. So you sit up here saying, oh, I'm Afro-Latina, that means, no, bitch, I'm not going for it. That's bullshit. Anyway, then we talk about OG telling her that she talks about how she makes money and how she's been making money. And OG told her, yeah, you make it on your back and sometimes on your knees. And I'm sitting here like, damn, all these shots that OG was throwing at her, they were on point. They were on point. The girl knows how to talk. She's very good at saying stuff to dig into your soul. She sizzles that soul. And Evelyn is only good at saying, well, I'll fight you, I'll fight you. But she doesn't know how to articulate herself as well as OG does. So all she says is a bunch of ignorant shit. Sorry, that's how I feel. The next conversation, they ask Evelyn, Shaunie, if she feels like everyone is part of the circle. Of course, Shaunie says not everybody's part of the circle. And when she says that, she hints that next season, they're not going to have the same dynamic. Of course, we already know OG's not going to be there. She got fired. Tammy left the show. She quit. Cece and Byron quit. We already know all these things. She said everybody's not going to get along, so she's going to get rid of people because she feels like there needs to be more of a sisterhood next time. Okay, but Jennifer doesn't get along with half people on that stage either. And you're going to have her back too. You're choosing to have her back because you always need an underdog. If you're going to go with that whole theme that you're going to pick somebody based on their ability to get along with people, then Jennifer shouldn't be in that mix. But she is. Then they finished the reunion, and I was so glad for it. However, they did this little clip where they decided to do damage control. I guarantee you that production told Shaunie that because of this colorism thing that's been going around, this racist thing that Evelyn's doing, that it is cutting into rates. It's going to cut into their ability to have a next season coming up. And that because they let OG go the way that they let her go, and that this is a big issue that people are talking about boycotting the show. I watched it so I can give you guys the preview, the rundown of what happened for those of you who are boycotting it. Those of you who say we the fans don't care, don't watch this reunion if you don't care. But I'm saying they wanted to do damage control. So they had Shaunie, it's a different setting, different hairstyle. Apparently she had this interview after the Evelyn and OG's back and forth. That's when the interview was had, which tells me that they got the wind of this and they need Shaunie to come and talk after she did the reunion and rolled her eyes at OG. She now says this fake ass shit. I really feel bad that OG felt the way that she felt because it has nothing to do with colorism or racism. It's just that OG was new and she didn't really know anybody. And I know that there are some girls on this cast that have done worse stuff than she has, but I've known them for 15 or some odd years, so I know how far they're willing to go. OG is new, so we didn't know her. So for her to come at this way and not really let us get to know her, I was so excited to know that there's a Nigerian person on this show that's coming on. Yay, me. But y'all didn't go to her party when she threw it, her Nigerian party. Y'all wasn't even there. Y'all were obsolete. Y'all don't know anything about her. So she's like, I was so happy about that. But then when OG came, I'm so mad. I'm unhappy that this is the experience that she had. I hope that one day we can talk about it in a different setting. Whatever, bitch, you're lying. Then they asked her about the Evelyn monkey, putting the monkey post and then taking it down. And she said, well, I saw it and I was like, oh my gosh. I called Evelyn to ask her about it. And Evelyn said it had nothing to do with OG. That she just posted it and everybody automatically assumed it was about OG. Shaunie must think we're stupid because she is not a good actor. That tweet came during the time that her and OG were arguing. They were going back and forth, and it was in response to what OG was saying. It was absolutely directed to her. Don't sit up here now because you're trying to do damage control. Play us like we're dumb, bitch. Because we know that it had everything to do with OG. Why are you lying? Why? We don't believe you. But Shaunie did this whole thing. The host is asking her these questions about how she feels. She does this little skit about how she wants things to be better and how she's going to fix things and how she feels like she can talk to OG now in a better light because she needs to clarify things. It was all bullshit. Honestly, I'm happy this reunion was over. I did this review so you guys can get a overview of how it ended. I'm ready to take a break. I just want to review Love and Hip Hop, which I did. Y'all need to check it out because that one is more popping than this one. And it was more popping than the bullshit they had us go through. I'm going to be doing one for Marriage Boot Camp still because I'm still going to talk about it. When Real Housewives of Atlanta comes up, I'm going to talk about it too. I might start watching Black and Cruise. I can tell y'all about it too because those ones are fun. This entire season gave me an entire headache. It was not like the things I saw. I was very disgusted. I want y'all to understand that. I did watch this to let y'all know what happened. If you don't want to watch it, you don't have to. But I wanted to wrap this up so we can all at least know how it ended. And, you know, get a certain perspective and a full picture of what's going on and maybe what they're going to try to do next season if they decide to. I don't think that they should, just so we can teach them a lesson, but that's just my take on it. Anyway, don't forget to like, subscribe, ring the notification bell, and you guys have a good evening. Bye.